The numbers spoke volumes. I didn't even win Catoosa County, my home, where less than 8 years before I had won my state House seat by 70%. I thought I had done everything right. I had sacrificed what could have been a long, comfortable career in public service to follow the dictates of my conscience, and this is where it got me. Although I had given my televised concession speech, emphasizing that I was conceding this one, I knew better. The red tide of the new Georgia Republicanism had washed up deeply in the northwest corner of the state. Devastated by the depth of the loss, I walked to the middle of the desolate U.S. Highway 41, the Dixie Highway, and called Riva in Chicago. "It's over," I told her. "I lost. I'll file the divorce agreement papers tomorrow." Walking to my truck, I was already hearing from around the state that colleagues from the state capitol were considering their own party switch from D to R, just as my opponent had done after winning his last election. I was the bellwether, apparently. Although there would be talk of great change, it's funny that the faces wouldn't change much. Just then, I saw a figure in a shop doorway. Creepy Alvin Ridley. Crazy Alvin Ridley. Crap. Alvin and I had a history, one I didn't want to think about right then. I had once chastised him for taking a percentage for simply cashing the disability check of an impaired man, John Howard. Howard had hitchhiked to the state capitol to see his representative and governor about it. I handled it, advising him to go to the bank. Then I came home and confronted Alvin Ridley, only getting a menacing stare for my trouble. For now, let's just say Mr. Ridley was out there well past midnight, a guy who posted conspiracy missives on the inside of the windows of his dilapidated, padlocked shop, rants that I often secretly checked out to be sure my name wasn't among the many listed. In fact, he'd probably been posting one of those diatribes before he caught sight of me. Or maybe he had been guarding his decaying building, which had been closed for 15 years. Other times, he lurked around the front door. If any activity occurred downtown, he was convinced people were breaking into this ruin of a store. The sides of the windows showcased its plight, and as I passed them, he was just inside the alcove, standing in shadows. "You got beat, didn't you?" he said. "Yeah, I did." I kept going, not wanting to engage him, remembering the time years ago he'd appeared, the subject of ridicule and amazement at an all-candidates rally, running for sheriff of Catoosa County in 1984. Please, God, I thought, let my vote percentages be higher than his were. 11 months later, Virginia, the wife that nobody knew he had, would be dead, and he would be ultimately arrested for her murder. His defender? That would be this once golden boy, now failed husband and politician, walking down this nearly deserted street, headed for a destination that not even I could imagine.